greet you. I hope you are fine and I hope you are doing well where you are. My name is Wutomi Bila. I'm the former chairperson of the School of Education at the University of Venda. I was a student leader and a student activist at the University of Venda from the year 2019 until the year 2021 in September. Allow me to say that it is my passion to make my contribution when it comes to the youth. We know that our country is going through a hard time where there is a high level of unemployment. And it is our responsibility as youth to make our own contribution. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this video, which is about training educators for an interview and for the application for a teaching post level number one. I'm going to take you through different processes which you need to undertake, or the processes which are undertaken with regard to finding an employment in the education center. This is the information that they may not teach you at the university. It is something that you need to learn outside. It is unfortunate that those who are born from families where there are no educators, or there is no someone who's related to you who is an educator who may be able to teach you these things, you may not be able to find employment because of lack of knowledge. You need to understand that the manner in which the processes for interviewing, shortlisting, and eventually getting employed as an educator, these processes is not something that you can Google on the internet and you find. I think this is the first video in South Africa which will be talking to you, newly qualified educators, on this process. I need to indicate that I was fortunate enough that few years after working as a teacher, 3 years after working as a teacher, I got an opportunity to serve as the secretary of the SGB, meaning that we were responsible to interview educators for the school and find the most suitable educator. So you are trained by someone who has been in the field, who have been practicing what I'm about to teach you. I've been a panelist for many posts for level number one. Ladies and gentlemen, the first thing that you need to understand is before a post is advertised, the school start by checking the curriculum need it has. After checking the curriculum need it has, it is going to draft a letter, direct it to the circuit or to the Department of Education applying for a post. So you need to understand that when the school advertise for a post, is because they have applied for that post and they have included its curriculum requirement. By the curriculum requirement, I'm talking about the subject which they need in their own school. It is very important for you to understand, because some people do not understand these things, of a subject. You need to understand that after the school have applied, the second is going to take the application form and cover it, direct it to the district office where they are going to make a final approval. They can approve or they may not approve. If they approve, it will be approved based on the subjects that were indicated in the application. If they indicate that we need an educator for Xitsonga or we need an educator for EMS and mathematics, it is very important for you to understand that even if you have mathematics and English, if the post says mathematics and EMS, it means it is only suitable for those who have those subjects that are stated. Unless if a post says Xitsonga or EMS, if there is an or, it means that any one of the subject, it is going to be fine. But if it says and, it means that exactly the subject that I stated, one need to have. Okay, let us proceed to number two, item number two. In item number two, when the post is advertised, according to the law which guides these things of posts, in Limpopo, we call that law the PELRC Collective Agreement. We call it the Collective Agreement number 2 of 2020. In this Collective Agreement of 2020, teachers union and the employer, which is the Department of Education, they met, as you know, that they have, I can call it their own parliament, which is called the PELRC, where the employer meet with the workers' representative, which is the unions, different unions. We've got SATU, we've got PEU, PEU, and other unions that we have. They said and they um, came up with a collective agreement. This collective agreement is a rule and guideline which guide teachers and everyone when it comes to employment and post establishment. So it is very important first that when you apply for a job, you need to have the PELRC collective agreement. You can Google this document. You can go to Google and type Limpopo PELRC collective agreement number 2 of 2020. Then you are going to find this document. This document, it is the one that is going to give a guidance from the start. So, according to the guideline, is when a post is advertised, it must take 5 working days. It must take 5 working days to be applied for. It must be on the line to be applied for 5 working days. And then on the day of advertising the post, the school is also going to write to unions, inviting them to come for the shortlisting. And that process should give the space of 5 days. Then, when we are done with that, we are going to come to the second part where you are applying for the post. When a post is advertised, the school is going to outline all the documents that are needed. They are going to outline the document in order. So when you apply, make sure that you attach the document according to the order that is outlined on the advert. The advert is not going to mislead you. You need to follow it. Attach the documents the way they are mentioned. If they say that they want a short application letter, then they say attach a CV. They say attach an ID, attach matric certificate, attach your qualification. According to the order that they are outlined in the advertisement, that's how you need to apply and package your documents. Do not follow anyone's way of arranging documents. Follow the arrangement of document that is mentioned on the advert. It is also advisable not to attach a document that is not um, mentioned. There is the LPDP form. If it is not mentioned, you must not attach it, because it is not going to advantage you in any way when you attach more documents than they are mentioned in the advert. It is not going to be of any benefit to you. So please, when you attach, you prepare your CV, you must make sure that you follow the order that is in the advert. Another mistake which students make when they apply is the issue of submitting copy of copies. In the collective agreement is a book which have got rules, which have got a guideline. It is very important that you have that document. If we can go to page 14 of the collective agreement, page 14, it is talking about shortlisting for post level number 1. I'm talking to you about packaging when you are applying, because that packaging, the interviewers, they are going to receive your package and they use it to shortlist you. When you supply a copy of a copy, there are 3 points which they are going to score you from. At phase 1, we've got 2 phases, phase 1 and phase 2. If you do not pass phase 1, you will not go to phase number 2. Phase number 1, that's where they're going to check your document. They check for 3 things. The document which they use, it have popped up on your screen. They use that paper to score you. That's a score sheet that they use. It's a centralized score sheet that is used anywhere when it comes to education post. They are going to write your name of candidate, your puzzle. Do not worry if you do not have a puzzle. Then they say post number. Then they will write the post number as it will be indicated on the advertisement. Then it will come to the mark allocation. There are 3 marks for phase 1. The first one is, does the applicant satisfy qualification requirement? When they talk about the qualification requirement, is, do you have a teaching qualification? So you are going to get 1 mark for that, for having a teaching qualification, before they check anything. Yes, you do have a teaching qualification. That's why you need to attach your qualification on your CV, because if there is no teaching qualification on your CV, they will not be able to know if you have a teaching qualification. So that's why it is important for you to attach your qualification. Then we'll come to number 2. Does the applicant satisfy the curriculum requirement of a post? When they talk about the curriculum requirement of a post, to get a teaching post, you must have a teaching qualification. You must not just have a BSc in mathematics and physics. They are not looking for BSc in mathematics and physics. They are looking for a qualification in education and in teaching. It means you may have a BEd, or you may have PGCE. PGCE is a qualification in education. Then criteria number 2, they say, does the applicant satisfy the curriculum requirement of the post? When they talk about the curriculum requirement of the post, they are talking about if you have all the subjects that are mentioned. In some of the advert, you will find that they mention only one subject. They advertise for a post of English. They say English. So that one will be more clear. It means it is only the people who majored in English who can apply for that post. Some of the posts you'll find that they say um, Shivenda and economics. Shivenda and economics post, it will means that you must be having both Shivenda and economics as your measures and as your subject in order for you to meet the requirements that are needed for that particular post. Then the last one, 2.3, it says, did the applicant enclose certified copies of qualification? It means that all the time when you make a teaching application, you must certify your document. The mistake that most of our students make is they submit a copy of a copy. Remember that to certify means to confirm that this copy, it is a copy of the original. But if you are going to make a copy of a certified copy, it does not mean that it is a copy of the original. It just cancel. It is forgery. When you make a copy of a copy, it means you have forged a document, because certifying by virtue means confirming that the copy, it is a copy of the original. So you need to avoid a situation of sending other people to certify for you or to submit for you. That's what I meant to say. You send someone, you say, I'm going to send you the document. Please print for me and submit on my behalf. When you send someone a scanned, certified document, it means it will become a copy of a copy. And a copy of a copy is not original. So the things of submitting these documents by yourself, by hand, it is very important, because the issue of certified copies, it is a criteria that is used during shortlisting phase number 1. For your CV or your application to proceed to the next uh, level, or for your CV to be shortlisted, you need to score 3 points. It means that these 3 criteria that are mentioned here, you must pass all of them. If you happen to fail one, it means you must not be shortlisted. You will not be shortlisted, rather. You cannot be shortlisted until you get 3/3 on phase number 1 for the shortlisting of candidate. You must have a teaching qualification criteria. Number one, you get 1 mark. You must meet the curriculum requirement. Curriculum requirement, it means you must have all the subjects that are mentioned. If you have one subject and you don't have the other, you do not meet the curriculum requirement. You will not be shortlisted. If you can be shortlisted and you get number one, just know that the post is going to be returned back, because sometimes schools, they can do that. They can shortlist someone who does not have both subjects. The person get position number one in the interview, then they take the document, they submit, because after the interview process, there's a lot of paperwork to submit those documents at second office, and the administrators, they go and check those things thoroughly. They find that the advertisement was saying that they need Shivenda and English. If you have only Shivenda, it means you cannot be employed for that post, because the advert must talk to the person who got position number one, who must be employed in that post. So the curriculum requirement talks about having all the subjects. Then the last criteria, it is um, certified copies. The issue of copy of copies. Do not make copy of copies. Certify by yourself. Submit by yourself. Or if you want to send someone, send them with original document, or they must certify for you. Give them your original IDs. They go to the police and they certify for you. Avoid the issue of using commissioners of oath who made themselves. You'll find someone in a printing shop having a stamp to certify. You ask yourself, how can they be a commissioner of oath? It is advisable that you must go and certify your document at second office. Go to the second office, not second office, the police station. What am I saying? Go to the police station and certify your copies. Go to the police station and certify your copies, not at second office, at the commissioner of oath, that is the police station, because those are the stamps that were used too. If you come with a strange stamp and they are trying to check your things, sometimes they will doubt, they will say, hey, this is forgery. Because even the school, they do not want to be delayed by you. Because if they can shortlist you, you get position number one, and you find that uh, uh, the district office and second, they query, they say this qualification is fake. It means the school has been compromised. If it is urgently looking for a teacher, it means the learners will be suffering. They will not be having the teacher, because every process will need to start again and advertise the post afresh. So those things, they become a problem. So just know that the school will not compromise for you. For example, if you have one subject and they are looking for two subjects, history and geography, they are looking for history and geography, and you have one subject, um, it means that you cannot be shortlisted, or you cannot be employed, because you have one subject. If they can employ you and someone knows about it, I will talk about this one at the end, the issue of grievances, the grievances. I will talk to them at the end of the section of interviews. If someone can know that you were employed while you're having one subject, they have got the right to write a grievance to second office and query that, because it is an irregularity. It is wrong. Because we have a law here which is called the Collective Agreement 2 of 2020, which must be followed. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let me give you a scenario while we're still under shortlisting. Um, this is the last scenario. You can see that there is phase two. It is not in all the case where shortlisting will go to phase two. They may end everything at phase one. Remember, shortlisting is about eliminating the CVs, you eliminate all your CVs until you are left with 5, so that those 5 that are the one who are going to be interviewed. So let's take the eliminated um, 90 CVs. They had 100 applications. Then they eliminated 90. They are left with how many? They are left with 10 CVs. So what can they do if the situation is like that? They are left with 10, and all the 10, they pass the process of phase number 1 shortlisting. It means they are bound to go to phase number 2. That's where they are going to compete. At phase number 2, we have got um, 2 criteria. We have 2 criteria which they are going to use to allocate marks. Criteria number 1 is looking at the qualification. It is called highest academic qualification in the learning area. So phase number 2, it means if you have honors, let's take the post is for history, and you have got honors in history, it means that you are more of an advantage. You are going to get a high score. Let me read for you. There is REQV 14, which is going to be allocated 1 score. REQV 15 will be allocated 2 scores. REQV 16, it will be allocated 3 marks. REQV 17, it will be allocated 4 points. So REQV, that is a diploma, REQV 14, diploma, REQV 15, your degree, REQV 16, your honors, your masters, REQV 17, that is your PhD. So it means if you have a higher qualification in the learning area, this is where people make a mistake. Here, we're not interested in a master's degree or honors degree. It must be an honors degree in that subject. So if you have a master's, but that master's is not for that subject you are applying for, it is not going to give you more points. You are going to be like someone who does not have a master's or honors, because that master's or honors must be in the learning area according to the collective agreement. So if you have a master's, that master's must be in the subject that you are teaching or you have applied for. You understand? So the person with a master's is going to get a high score here on the highest qualification in the learning area. Then criteria number 2 is above average academic performance. That is the highest mark obtained in the learning area or in the subject. Criteria number 1 was having a highest qualification, honors, masters, and PhD. The second criteria is the highest marks you have obtained. So they may choose whether they want to check the metric certificate or they want to check the academic record. That's why it is important for you to attach the academic record. And the academic record, it is very important for you to know that they use it to shortlist. There is that criteria. Let me go back. Criteria number 2.2. Does the application satisfy the curriculum requirement of the post? They check your academic record. How do they check your academic record? Your academic record indicate the record of your academics in your lifetime of doing that particular subject or a degree. So if you were doing English and history, we are going to be consistent in checking English and history in your academic record. in your academic record. Sometimes it is even problematic if you find that the name of your history that you did at university, it is not called history. It becomes a problem because you'll find that the people who are interviewing, some of them, they do not know. So they will just find that the name of the history that you did at university, it is called World War III. I'm giving you an example. I did not do history. The name of your history is called World War III. It is not written history. Sometimes they can make a mistake of saying that this person does not have a history. We only see English, so there is that. But the panelists, they do assist each other. But sometimes it is a disadvantage. You will find that it is the reason you are not shortlisted sometimes because of the appearance of your subject, especially us who attended with mainstream students at the University of Venda. Myself, I did mathematics and life sciences, but on my academic record, there's no life sciences. It is biology, it is botany, it is zoology. It appears like that. So it takes someone who is an expert to know that zoology is life science, botany is life science. So those are some of the challenges that you may come across during shortlisting because they use your academic record. So make sure that your academic record is there because it is the only one or the only thing that can tell them if you meet the curriculum requirement, if you have all the subject, because you know that your qualification certificate is not going to indicate your majors because your majors, they are the ones which are going to be used during the advertisement of a post. Okay, back to your highest marks obtained in your qualification. So they may go to high school, your matric. If it is a post for history, they check the marks that you got for history. So it may try and eliminate these people that I said are left, the 10 people, and until they're left with 5. So those are the criteria that they use to shortlist until they're left with 5. Then the 5 candidates are the one that are going to proceed to the interview process. And immediately after the shortlisting, the secretary of the SGB will start calling all the people who are shortlisted. So just know that the day you receive a call is the day where you were actually shortlisted. So just know that because all this process must give a period of 5 days. So if shortlisting is today, it means interview will be again after 5 days. That is the requirement of unions because unions need to be told in time to come and observe. And it is their right to be invited to come and observe. If the post proceeds without the invitation of union, they've got powers to freeze such posts. But if the post processes proceed without the union, yet the union was invited, it means that the the school is not guilty. They can proceed because they've invited the union. Okay, so that is what the process of shortlisting is all about. Let me summarize. You need to submit a CV which is clear. Your CV must talk. When you write about experience, indicate your experience that I've got 2 years experience in teaching history. Indicate I've got 2 years of teaching English. You need to be clear when you talk about experience. Make sure that anything you write is clear. You understand? You need to make everything to be clear. It is very important. Then you will be shortlisted if you follow the things that I'm teaching you. You will be shortlisted for sure.